Hey guys, welcome back to the Lovin Dubai show. Today's guest is the one and only Shireen Ahmed, a former Lovin Dubai host and advocate for single moms and mental health awareness, who is now stepping into the spotlight as Miss Universe Bahrain 2024. So excited to have her on the show.
God, this feels like such a full circle moment. I can't believe I'm back with Casey.
How many years ago? So we used to have our studio in JLT, and you were hosting the show solo then for a time?
Yes, for a time. I think that was, well, the last time maybe would be 2021, I would say, 3 years ago. It's crazy.
So 3 years ago,
Yes.
we now have Shireen back on the show. She's going to represent Bahrain in Miss Universe 2024 and was just recently crowned.
Yes.
So beautiful.
Thank you so much. My replica crown at the moment. We have the real one waiting in the Philippines, where I'll be going for training very, very soon. So let me wear it.
We need like a...
Do you want to wear it as well? Do you want a moment?
Yes.
I'll give you guys a moment in a bit.
No, this is...
So, you know, Casey had asked when I entered, do I want to be wearing this the entire time? I said, absolutely not, because I'll fidget and it might fall. But there she is. Our temporary crown, if you will.
It's so beautiful.
There you go. Whoever wants to may try.
I just want to get right into like the moment of, look at that queenly wave. Like, how does it feel to actually have that moment of, it's me?
Well, you know, it's always shocking, right? When you receive something like news like this, when you see it, especially after all of the months of hard work. I think I started mentally preparing for the pageant because I'd heard that they were looking for women to join from January. So I've really been mentally training since then. And in the moments and in the months that you're training, you're already kind of manifesting in your head what that moment's gonna look like. Sometimes it turns out the way you expected, other times it doesn't. You can't really ever imagine the feeling, right? So it's ecstatic, it's overwhelming, and I'm just super happy, honestly.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I mean, you're absolutely beautiful.
Thank you
I
so
don't want
much.
to say, and congratulations again. But my first question is, as a former Lovin Dubai host,
Ooh.
and then you flipped to the pageant, lifestyle. So what is one fun thing that you had learned from your media experience as host and as well working with in the media that you would love to bring to the pageant world?
This is an exemplary question, because part of obviously being a host, right, is learning to speak, learning to engage with people, to reach out to people, to know how to gauge in an audience to listen to you, because you have to use your voice to advocate for the causes that mean a lot to you. So I've been able to really use that in my pageant journey, because a lot of it now, especially with the new era of the universe, requires a lot of speaking, a lot of talking about who you are, what your purpose is. It is no longer just about surface level beauty and skin deep. It is about what you can actually do for your organization, for your country. How can you better represent your country? And what can you do beyond just getting the crown?
Speaking of getting the crown, like, we watched TV growing up and we looked at these amazing queens on stage. Yes. Did you have that type of childhood? Have you always wanted to be a queen?
No. I always wanted to be a writer. I actually always wanted to be a journalist, a writer, anything in the field of media. I didn't know what that looked like. All I knew was I wanted to write. And but I think I couldn't really avoid the fact that pageantry was going to be around, because I am half Filipino as well. And as you guys know, they are big on pageantry. So that was always something that I would see, whether it was my mother's friend's house and they're all cheering for whoever just won, or it's all over like social media growing up, right? They always root for their queens, and in essence you can't really escape it. And I always loved that as well. I love we call it the bayanihan spirit, and what that means is it's a community spirit where you just raise the flag in whatever way you can and everybody takes part.
So true. I hadn't thought about this, because obviously it's a win for Bahrain, but like, in the Philippines, they're probably saying this is a win for us too.
They really are.
I mean, I remember they won where Pia
Wurtzbach.
Pia Wurtzbach.
Yes,
she's so
she
amazing.
had won, and she's absolutely beautiful. And it was like a big. I remember like watching the Miss Universe on YouTube, and seeing like like they would have like the camera would pan to the crowds, and I would see a lot of like Filipina flags around, and I'd be like, oh my God, they're so happy, and there are a lot of them that are cheering for Pia, and she absolutely deserved it. But of course, I know that preparation for being Miss Universe is not easy. So tell us, how did you prep for, like that moment?
Ooh, that was a lot. Well, like I said, it starts with really your mental fortitude. That is first and foremost, because you have to understand that in pageantry, it is a lot. It takes a lot. You have to do Q&A trainings. You have to really know what you're talking about in terms of your advocacy, your passions in life. You have to know who you are, because you're always going to be asked to represent you, right? You don't have a lot of time. If they say describe yourself, what parts of yourself do you describe for people to get the picture of who you are as a person, what your spirit is like, right? And there's also the walk trainings. We call them pasarela trainings.
Is that actually a thing?
That's actually a thing, yeah.
What about wave training?
You know what? You can be extensive in that aspect of training as well. I know that in the Philippines, they even rehearse the way that they'll scream their names and their countries.
Of course, at the very beginning. That's how we should have entered the show. Ireland.
No, you have to be like, Casey, Ireland!
So towards the end, we could all do our own introduction. But yeah, every little step takes a part. It just depends on you and how you want to take that further. For me, I really wanted to just do a better job than my previous pageant experience in 2022, because I had placed second runner-up at the time. And while Evelyn was an amazing, deserving winner at the time, it really also taught me a lot about my weaknesses and my strengths in the field of pageantry. But at the time, I also didn't think that I could join again, because that was the last year that I actually could have joined, because I was turning 28 by November. And I'm really glad that they opened up and changed the laws, and now I can partake in Miss Universe again.
How was that personally to have to, I guess, experience defeat and not make it, and then for that law to change? How did that feel for you?
Well, in the moment when you hear something like that, you also put in a lot of hard work, right? And it is obviously going to be hurtful, but I am a person that always thrives off of failure. I never see a failure as setback. And this is true in every sense of the word. I just see it as an opportunity to grow. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the Scorpio way of just being motivated, right? You need kind of that, I don't know, failures just motivate me to get up, to do better, and it gives me the drive. So that's...
And the flip on the age limit meant that you could then... take part.
Yes. So they announced it just this year. Last year, they actually announced that mothers and other types of women could also take part. But this year, they removed the age limit. And when I heard that, it was almost like a sign, that, okay, this is your moment. Because I was also watching the journey of last year's Miss Universe Philippines 2023. Her name is Michelle D. And she advocated heavily for autism awareness because two of her brothers were on the spectrum. And that really inspired me. I love that she didn't just take part in pageantry, but she really used that to advocate for something that was meaningful to her, that was a lifelong advocacy for her. And that's the kind of legacy that I want to take on with this pageantry, not just to show myself as the beautiful Bahraini girl or whatever it is people have as a representation of a beauty queen, but to use this voice, especially in times like now, to really raise on things that are important so that you can hopefully make a difference.
Well, my question right now might be a little bit messy, but
tea.
how is it like behind the scenes? Now we know sometimes there's this stereotype that women get jealous of women. So was it women supporting women or was it not?
That is often said, but what my experiences are, at least, have always been positive. The women are always so supportive with each other. I believe we were 7 or 8 women in this edition. And even in 2022, I've made friends that I still talk to this day from the batch that I joined. And what it is because we're all so confident. And when you're confident, you don't really feel the need to be envious of another because you understand that you're all individuals, but you're all vying for the same thing. And in the end, whoever wins, right? A victory for one is a victory for all. So it's all good. It's all sisterhood, really. I'm sure, though, that other people must have had some experiences. You can't avoid that in any industry, in any sector of life. But for me personally, the experiences have been positive so far. And
I hope that continues. I think there was rumors of Gigi Hadid back in the day, and someone put something in her shoe or a nail in her shoe.
My God.
But then, it's meant to be cutthroat.
That's even I don't know if you must know the story. There's like the Lebanese beauty queen Nadine and Jim. Apparently, a lot of girls like made a pact and a scheme not to get her to win.
Oh wow!
Apparently, and she had said that in an interview, and I remember, and she was like, "Oh my God!" She called her mom crying, and
I even watched some interviews of other beauty queens in my training process, and some of them would say you have to take care of your clothing and your luggage because sometimes some will steal. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to believe, right? I hope that I don't encounter that. I don't think so, at least, but sometimes it does happen, and you just have to put your best foot forward. Protect the crown.
No one's said anything. Knowing what you know now, and you've obviously been in the industry, if anyone's watching and they're inspired, or they think it would be something nice for their daughters or sons, I don't know. Do you have one piece of advice for people who want to enter the pageant world?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, do I address them here?
This is a close-up.
Okay, if you guys are looking into pageantry, I 100% vouch for it. At least once in your life, even without the goal of winning, right? I think you have to make the goal about self-growth. And for myself personally, since 2022 and now, I feel like that every time I take part in a pageant, because I have a naturally competitive spirit, it just propels and fuels me to go forward with my own endeavors. So if you have that, if you want to improve your speaking skills, if you want to have better posture, better walking, if you want to really push yourself to advocate for the things that matter to you, then I really do suggest pageantry.
I mean, honestly, this is like amazing, and all I can think of is the work that, like, we do see beautiful women competing in everything, but we don't know what actually really happens and the training that they actually do go through. But I have a question. Of course, like, you are the queen and you were crowned and everything. So after that, you had like, you got crowned.
Yes.
Did you feel like this kind of like pressure to carry on this like queenly qualities?
I wouldn't say there's a pressure, no. I think that when you're training for the crown anyway, I think when you're training to win the crown, which this year I was really set on, I want to win to represent Bahrain this year. Khalas, like this is my year. You have to go into that mindset that you have already won. That's what will set you apart. That's what I didn't do, I believe, the last time. That this time I was like, I have to believe that in every sense of the word. I have to feel the confidence within me and not just exude it outside. And on that note, I don't feel any pressure. I feel it just comes naturally. It's like almost like a gradual transition towards that. It's not an on and off switch. It's just, you have obviously moments where you're in front of the media, and then you have who you are with your friends. And I think everyone anyway has a different side to them at all times. But when you are representing your country, of course, you want to do it to the best of your abilities.
Natural queen. You've mentioned, you've touched on causes that mean something to you, and you said that this year was the year that you felt you wanted to win and you were going to win.
Yes.
So can we touch a little bit more on the causes that you want to raise awareness for?
Definitely. So I have been an ambassador for Hope Amal UAE. This is a platform here in the UAE that helps provide essential needs to single mothers and families in need. And they are incredible. It is founded by Abby Kadam. I believe you've had her on the show a couple of years ago, right? And it's incredible. I had a friend who passed away recently. She was a single mother, and I was raised by a single mom mostly. And it's hard. It's not easy work. It's isolating. These women go through so much on top of having to take care of themselves so that they could give back to their children. They also have to think about how to feed their children, how to get those basic necessities. And so I'm really grateful for organizations like Hope Amal UAE and the work that they do. And that's why I try to use my social media platform as much as I can to help spread awareness. And this year, I decided to take it a step further with being inspired by their work, and I started my own initiative of the same, Hope Amal Bahrain, kind of as an homage and a tribute to the work that they do here, but bringing it to my home country and hopefully being able to help more single mothers there.
Nice.
Yes.
That's beautiful. But I want to ask that you are half Bahraini, half Pinoy. Now, did you ever?
I love that you said Pinoy.
Was it ever a thought in your head that that would be maybe like a reason that you would not win?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think we live in a world now where people have become more accepting, right? A lot of people are biracial. I mean, it's inevitable. You know, that's what it is when you learn to love another without discrimination. And I am a product of my parents' love. And I'm never going to think anything negative of that. I'm just looking at my work and am I going to be the better representative? Do I speak for Bahrain? Do I speak for my advocacies? Am I ready for it? And can I walk the talk? That's all I focused on, not really on my background or anything.
It's a tricky one, I think, when you say speak for your country, because obviously with so much going on in the world, and whether we wonder should, in your opinion, queens or pageants speak of world causes, specifically, of course, I mean, what's happening in the Middle East. Like, do you think it's important for you to use your profile or for the pageants to use their profiles to raise awareness?
Definitely. I think it is important as an individual, as a candidate, to use that. That is what we're here for. And that is the beauty of the pageant platform. They empower us to use our platform for whatever it is that we feel we need. And for myself, as somebody who comes from the region, who has personally witnessed some of the setbacks that have been happening, you know, the tragedies that have been taking place in the last year, if not longer, I think it's high time now more than anything to really be seen, right? Because to be seen is to be heard, and hopefully that will result in less dehumanization of the Arab community, and that's what really matters. That's why Arab representation matters in all parts of every category of the world, whether that be in pageantry or whether that be in the medical field, whatever field you're in.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, Sani, this is a very beautiful message, let me say. But what message, you know, that you would love to actually leave with the world through your Miss Universe journey?
My message to the world, to the universe,
Shireen
rather.
Ahmed's message
Oh
to
my
the world.
God, no pressure. Well, my message to the world is, you know, we are going through hard times, some of the toughest times, especially us here in the Middle East. And I think the most important thing is to really keep our hope and to remember all the good that there is in the world, to focus on humanity, to focus on what we can do to be better servants to our communities, what we can do to help make a difference. And that's all we could do at the end of the day. And hopefully that will create a ripple effect of more changes so that we can come back to the peace and prosperity, or even further that in the future.
I love that, a message of hope to leave us on. But you gave me a brilliant idea at the beginning of the show, and I really want to have this moment where we do our countries.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
okay.
But you're going to need to show us how it's done.
Oh my God!
Okay.
Okay, you could.
No
someone's
pressure.
going to wear the crown. I think it should be you.
Should it? Fine.
Yes. So this happens at the beginning of pageants, or at the end, or what exactly is it?
It's usually at the beginning of a pageant, right? Because we'll have the opening ceremony. Usually there's a little bit of a dance, and then every girl can get onto the mic and say her name and her country. And you have to just sass it out, whatever that means to you. Some are more calm, some are more high pitch, some scream. You've seen those viral videos. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but let's give it a try.
They don't always scream.
They don't always scream. No.
Okay.
It's up to you, right? It depends on your vibe in that moment. I've yet to practice my final one, so nobody judge me for this. This is gonna be a more calm version, perhaps.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's kick it off. So we'll put the mic over to you, and then we'll pass it to this side. Okay.
Shireen Ahmed, Bahrain.
That's really good. Okay, go ahead.
Go, Casey.
Casey Nick Yarlt, Ireland. I just tried to copy you.
Give us louder.
Oh, I should have worn the crown.
All right,
Okay, have
so-
the crown, Farah.
All right.
Yes, darling.
Is that correct? Okay.
I love
Fab.
it. I love it.
Oh.
I love it. She almost had a mishap. It's okay.
It's okay. Okay. Farah Bashir, Syria.
That was a good one, actually.
She's made for
future
it.
title
She's made
holder.
for it.
Oh, that's amazing.
That brings us to the end of our show. It was so lovely to have Shireen back in studio. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
Really
you,
appreciate
guys.
it.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for giving us a platform and for allowing me to speak up about pageantry and the advocacies. I'm so, so grateful. And I'm grateful to be back.
Of course, anytime. And let's have our eyes on screens in November when you're in Mexico City. Dates?
Yes, November 14, I believe, is the preliminaries. So that's when we perform the national costume and all the other rounds. And then the finals is on November 16th.
I'm invested. That brings us to the end of the show. Thank you, Farah.
Thank you, Casey.
Thank you, Shireen.
Thank you guys so much.
And we'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Bye bye.